recording. I'll make this video accessible for you all too. I'll probably just put it as unlisted YouTube if you're cool with that. But so my first question is, tell me a little bit about the event you're like getting ready for.
So this event is gonna be. I was like half thinking about there's an event in Wichita, Kansas at One Drop Gaming.
Okay.
I don't know what the capacity is for the tournament. We've played there. Me and the guys at the local guys that we all play with. We've gone up there before to play. Last time I was there, there was some good players.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I ran into anybody that was like. There was a couple of guys that were inexperienced. Is like the best way I would say is like their first CEDH events.
Oh yeah, so it's like a local meta, like like new people. How many people do they usually get in their tournaments?
Last time I was there,
we're looking at probably like a 30-person tournament.
Okay, cool.
We are looking at playing this time around. We are looking at pulling some of the Oklahoma City guys.
Oh, cool, nice.
I don't know if Nameless is going to be there, but I know for sure at least one of the other OKC guys is going to be there.
Well, let's do this first. Let's see if we can find a results from a tournament that's in your meta real quick. So have there been ones at One Drop Gaming before that you think would be on here?
Let me shoot you the information from the last one I went to. I think it should be on here.
Is this it? One Drop Game Shop?
Yeah, One Drop Game Shop. The most recent one I think is the Premium Weekend CDH 1K.
Okay, let me see.
That one should work fine though. That was 2024. That was forever ago.
Okay. Let me see if I can find something here. I just want to find tournaments last like 6 months by date, and like it's One Drop. That's the only one I'm seeing. It's One Drop Game is the only one I'm seeing, but maybe it's all of these.
Are you?
I don't know.
Yeah, you're doing all tournaments.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I don't know why it's doing that.
If you do have a link, let me know. But let's just use this one for now. This is from June. It's 33 players. So the reason why I'm going to do this is I can pull this link here, right? I'm going to go Veldrazi, and I'm going to actually go into settings here. This is another thing that we worked on, or I suggested to him.
Sick. Okay.
So I can specify the meta, and I can load this meta, right? So now it's only going to pull like decks from this specific tournament, but it's example of a meta, right? For our mulligan selection, right? So lately, do you know kind of what the meta is biasing in terms of like bias here? Like, is it more turbo pilled lately?
We're usually pretty slow in terms of like the Midwest is usually a month or two behind, so we're probably going to be somewhere in that turbo hell type of meta.
Okay, so turbo mid range, probably no stacks, probably no control. Okay.
Not a lot of stacks, no.
Okay, cool, got it. All right, awesome. All right, so now we have our pots up. So what we're going to do here, do you have a deck list you are running, or the one that you can send me that is your base deck list?
Not something that is like put down on paper. I have my deck list in front. I have my deck in front of me right now.
Was it a custom build, or did you base it off of one of the ones on the Discord?
Not on the Discord. I usually pull the stuff that I prints off of Moxfield.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me find that.
Yeah, so if you have an example that's close, because I could show you a couple. I just want to look at your list to start. The list I usually run is a little bit different, but because I run more of a what I call recently semi-gruel, which is a little bit different of a variant. But I assume you're running more of a standard all-in turbo with a little bit of interaction planned.
Yeah, that's a good analysis of kind of like what I'm playing. Still playing food chain line.
Okay, yeah, it's good. So let me pull up like maybe Cam Daddy's list as a good kind of like a good solid like tournament proven list that is like not controversial. I'll say maybe.
That's fair
for sure.
Like it's just like a solid one. So let me go into top. So if you didn't know, in the Discord we have our top 16 deck list. So I'm gonna pull his list here. So this is Cam Daddy's list. Let's walk through. I don't know when his version is on here. Let's see when the last version of this was. So yeah. This is kind of the one he's been running for a while. So this will be Lorwyn Legal Tournament that you're going into. Is that correct?
Yes, it
Okay.
will be.
Yes.
So,
All right, so we'll talk about that in a second. Cool. So let's start as his base here. So we have, does this look similar to what you're doing? Anything stick out that you're not running currently?
I don't own Sticker Goblin, so that's not in
Ooh.
my list.
Is
yet,
it not?
'cause I
Is it a
don't-
proxy friendly tournament or not proxy friendly?
I can
I
get it to
believe-
you.
Okay,
I,
yeah,
say- I do believe it is proxy friendly.
yeah. You definitely, yeah. That's like it's a ritual. You need to run it.
Yeah, for sure.
And it has win line potential for something. So, all right.
Elvisto, Simeon. I don't have a Skirk Prospector.
Okay. I mean, I don't think that's. So let's do this. Look, let's remove things you don't have, and we'll add in things you do have as a starting point, right?
Okay, for sure.
I don't think I'm actually changing his. Oh, this is. Let me undo that. Sorry. This is a.
No, you're good.
This is one that is like kind of like time captured from when he won this. So let me make a duplicate here. So it's gonna be. We'll do Amon 777 coach test. That works, right? All right. So from here, you said you don't have a Skirk. We'll remove that, right? Let's go down the line. Chandra, yes, no, currently.
No.
Just all right, no. Chandra, move to considering. We'll do what you're at. So Birds of Paradise,
Yes, I have birds.
Bergie. You just give me yes, no. We'll
Yes.
do this quickly.
Yes.
Dualcaster, yes. Elvis Spirit Guide.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Eternal Witness. Brush Razor.
Yes.
Fu-
Brush Freezer, no.
Okay.
No.
Whoops. Fury.
No.
Sticker Goblin. We just talked about Hellkite Quasar.
I do have Hellkite Force.
Good. Velociraptor.
Yes.
Okay. Recruiter. I assume so. You better be if you're not.
I probably am. I am not. I don't have everything completely put out
That's
yet.
fine. That's
Let me-
fine. I'll assume yes.
Is Recruiter?
The other thing you could do is just like if you have your full deck in front of you, you can just name off things and I'll just check them off too. So,
Let me get this all finished. Like, I'm on the last little stack of stuff.
no, it's all good. It's all good.
I'm not on Recruiter though.
You
I just
need
realized that
recruiter.
I,
Yeah, you need recruiter in there.
I do have that card. I will
Okay.
grab that from
Good.
another.
And you're definitely gonna want to be on Formidable Speaker as well, but we'll talk about that later. Jaxus, yes, no.
Yes.
Okay, Orcish Lumberjack, Ragavan,
Yes.
Reckless Barbarian, Rionia,
What is Reckless Barbarian?
Sakate.
No, I do not
Okay,
have.
I'll just move to considering for now, and we'll talk about the differences. Rionia, I assume yes.
Yes.
Simeon,
Yes.
Squee, Tinderwall,
Yes. Yes.
Tree Stoker, Wild Cantor.
Yes. Yes.
You're on Cantor, yes.
I am.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. And like I said, this is just a list. This is Cam's list to compare. So, Onslaught,
Yes.
yes.
Or
Evolution.
Did I take that one out?
Yeah.
I think I did take that.
Okay, that's
Take
fine.
that one out.
Evolution.
Yes.
Okay, Electro Duplicate,
Yeah. Yes.
Gamble,
Yes.
Geo Surge.
No, because I
Okay.
do not own that card. That one I don't. I still need to pick that one up.
See if you can pick that one because that is very useful for us. It's a
Yeah, it's definitely
Met
on
three.
the list for sure.
yeah. And when is the tournament? How far away is it, time wise?
10 days.
Next Saturday.
Okay, yeah, you
10
should be able to get it in time. So, like I would take notes of like key pickups. That would be one that is a key pickup for you. GeoSearch, Glimpse. You can be or not be on it. We'll talk about it. Are you on it right now?
Yeah, I am not on it right now.
Okay.
No.
I just want to kind of get a baseline here. Heat Shimmer.
Mhm.
I assume so.
Yes.
Infernal Plunge.
Yes.
Yes. Jessica's Will. I assume yes.
Yes.
Metamorphosis.
No.
Okay. That one again is a good ritual. I'll put in considering right now, but if you can pick one up, usually it's a one-time food chain. Think about it like that.
Yep.
So molten duplication.
Yep.
Rite of flame.
Yep.
Strike it rich.
No.
Okay. I don't think you need to be on that one. I'm just gonna Sylvan Tutor.
Sylvan Tutor, no.
Okay.
I'll have that in this pile. No.
I also think that's a flex one you don't have to have as a core. This is good. I could actually build a core list now. Twin Flame, I assume yes.
Yes.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yes.
Okay. In the instance, Autumn's Veil.
Yes. Here, give me 1 sec. Someone's knocking on my door.
Go for it.
So I found I found it, but I can't. They didn't put it on EDH Top 16,
Oh, that's fine.
unfortunately. So that makes it pretty tough.
Okay. Well, we'll work with this.
Yeah, I am on Autumn's Veil. Yes.
You are? Okay. Okay. Cool. Crop rotation.
No. No crop rotation.
You consider it a ritual, right? If you do have one, like if you're like 1 mana off, you can always crop rot like a land into like a ancient tomb, right? But I'll put it considering for now. So do you have access to one?
A crop rot? Yes.
Okay. I'll move to considering, but we should talk about that. So once again, I'm just going to get the baseline of what you have right now.
Yeah, for sure.
SWAT, we talked about, yes, I assume?
No, I don't have a SWAT in here.
Ooh, do you have access to one?
I do have a SWAT.
Right. I would just put that in general. I'll move to considering for now because we'll build it out. Desperate Ritual.
Yes.
Eldrazi Confluence.
No.
It's a clone spell.
Didn't even think about that. Yeah, I didn't even think about that card.
So I think this is helpful for me because I think that what we need to go over, one, there's a after we talk, there isn't like an Eldrazi, like a Etali 101 video in the Discord. You should just look over because it goes through a lot of the basic lines. We'll go through whatever you want to go through for like next 45 minutes or so, but like effectively we want to run the biggest clone density we can. Eldrazi Confluence is effectively a clone of up to 3 of your creatures, right? Because it just gives another ETB, right?
Yeah, for sure. I do have access to one of those.
Cool, yeah.
I do have an Eldrazi deck. So.
Definitely put it in then. I'm going to leave it in here because you should have that one, right? Clones are kind of non-negotiable, right, for our deck.
Yep.
Right. Emerald Charm. Are you on that right now?
No.
Okay. That one's negotiable, I think. Flare Duplication.
I do have a flare, yes.
It's in the deck right now? Okay.
It is in the deck right now.
Okay.
Yes.
Guttural Response.
No.
Okay. Lightning Bolt.
Yes.
Natural State.
No, because I don't even know what that card does.
It's an artifact enchantment removal.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a remove target to risk 6 study. Nature's Claim.
No Nature's Claim.
Okay. In part of this is kind of like, depending on metas, like for bigger tournaments, you're going to run into a lot more like TNKs or Blue Farms or things like that. They're going to run a lot of value engines. And those spells specifically are to try to combat the value engines, right? So we could talk about that. Noxious Revival. Are you on that?
Yes.
Good. Open the Omen Paths.
No.
It's a 3 to 4 ritual that's creature or enchantment locked. I like it. Not everyone is on it, but I would consider it. I'll move to considering for now.
Sure.
Pyrotic Ritual, I assume, yes?
Yeah. Yes.
Pyroblast and REB.
Yes. Yes.
Seething Song.
Yes.
Veil of Summer.
Yes.
Worldly Tutor.
Yes.
Okay. Artifact-wise, do you have your deck in front of you organized by type or anything?
Yes, I have it all separated by type right now. I've been going through like the stacks of each thing and pulling out the stuff that you have instead of the stuff that I do.
So let's just do this then. Let's go up to creatures. What creatures do you have in your deck that I don't have right now?
So we said Eternal Witness, Tinwall. I have Llanowar Elves, Finhorn Elves, Elvish Mystic, the Cabbage Merchant.
Oh, 1 second.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Finhorn Elves. You say, what was the other one? It was Llanowar, Finhorn,
Elves, and Finhorn.
Elvish Mystic.
Elvish Mystic.
And then you have
the
cabbage merchant. Here.
Yeah, cabbage merchant.
Cool. Yep.
Bloom tender.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
Eternal Scourge, Delighted Halfling. Yeah, this is just stuff that I like put together that
Okay. Yeah.
had available.
So we'll go through your cuts. And what was the other delighted halfling?
Delighted Halfling.
Okay.
Destiny Spinner.
Mm-hmm.
Harrogast, Erupting Null
Yeah, I like that one. Yep.
Ortheon, Hero of Lava Brink.
Okay.
I think that's the only creatures that I have that aren't already on the list.
Cool. Let's go through sorceries. Anything that's missing?
Sorceries. The stuff that we didn't say, I have Mana Geyser and Reverent Silence.
Reverent Silence, I don't mind actually. That's a better, like if you're gonna run that effect, that's fine. Like I think one of those is okay. Depending on your mana, right? Like that's good. It's not instant speed. That's the downside, right? So
yeah, I thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
As well.
Like we'll go into it, but there's real value of it being able to play a removal spell like Force of Vigor at the end step. Which but we'll get into it. So any other sorceries?
Mana Geyser, if you got that.
I got it in here. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yep,
Instance.
The only ones that you didn't say, Archdruid's Charm.
Mm-hmm.
And Force of Vigor.
Good. Yeah. We'll go through these. And like I'll say, like this is from my experience of playing, right? So like just to like tell you about me a little bit, like my like resume in terms of CDH, I don't get to do a lot of tournament grinding because of like family life. I did play in like a couple big tournaments, and I grind on the Critical League mostly. So like
nice.
So I have lots and lots and lots of reps over the last 2 years of playing Etali. So I think just to kind of let you know where my perspective's coming from, it's a lot of the kind of the Critical EDH League meta, which is a little bit more turbo build. So take that for what it is. I just want to give you my reference point. Okay.
Sure, and like I'm coming from playing Rogside. Rogside is like my normal CDH deck. I kind of got a little fatigued on playing that strategy over and over again, so I wanted to try something else. And Etali seems like a very, very cool, very interesting deck to me.
It definitely is. I mean, I've been on it since it came out. So, all right. So let's talk artifacts. Arcane Signet, Chrome Mox, Curse Mirror. I assume. Are you on Felwar Stone?
Yep. I am on Felwar Stone.
Grim Monolith. Yes. No.
Yes.
LED.
Yes.
Lotus Petal.
Yes.
Mana Vault. I assume.
Yes.
Mox Diamond, Mox Opal.
Yes.
Soul Ring and Talisman.
Yes.
Anything I'm missing?
Soul Ring, Curse Mirror.
You know, Cloudstone lines.
Talisman of Impulse.
Yeah.
I have Mox Amber.
Mm-hmm.
Assault Monolith as well.
Mm-hmm.
I have the One Ring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have lots to talk about. Yeah.
Voltaic Key, and we already said Chrome Mox, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then that should be everything.
Yeah. What's great is the Formidable Speaker is better than Voltaic Key. In general. Okay, so then enchantments. Sure. Which enchantments are you on? You on Carpet?
I'm on Food Chain, Carpet of Flowers.
Yeah.
Wild Growth.
Okay. What else?
I am on Underworld Breach, Survival of the Fittest, and Utopia Sprawl.
Okay. I think a lot of our conversation initially is just going to be on like kind of deck selection and card selection here, just to be honest, based on my opinion, for the time we have, and a little bit of strategy. All right, land base. How many lands are you running?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's go through them. So ancient. So
25.
Yeah. So 25. Okay. Cool. Because we are at how many? Let's see here. We're at. I can't see. My taskbar is hiding. Hide the taskbar. 104. Cool. So we're 4 over.
Bottom left?
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so you're 25 lands. So Ancient Tomb, I assume. You're on Arid Mesa, Bloodstained, Mire, Beseju.
Sorry, all my lands are piled up.
Okay, yeah. Just name them. Just name them one at a time.
Okay, so yeah, Ancient Tomb.
Yep.
Taiga.
Yep.
City of Brass.
Yep.
Misty Rainforest. Wooded Foothills.
Wait, Misty. This one, Misty. Okay, Misty. Wooded Foothills, cool. Next.
Yep. Windswept Heath.
Windswept Heath. Cool.
Command Tower.
Command Tower, copy.
Commercial District.
Yep.
Cavern of Souls.
Cavern of Souls.
Mana Confluence.
Mana Confluence, cool.
Gemstone Cavern.
Gemstone Caverns, yep.
Verdant Catacombs.
Verdant Catacombs, good.
Stomping Ground.
Yep.
Shifting Woodland.
I love me a Shifting Woodland.
I also am a big fan. Scalding Tarn.
Yep.
Thornbite Staff, or sorry, Thornspire Verge. Thornspire Verge.
Okay.
Reflecting Pool.
Ooh.
Spire Garden.
Spire Garden. Is that all of them?
Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth, and Beseju. The last two non-basics. And then I'm on 3 forests, 2 mountains.
3 forests, okay. Alright, I can help with this already. So...
Hey, I'm here for it.
No, I got you. And 2 mountains?
And 2 mountains, yes.
So you don't have Crystal Vein, right?
I do not.
Okay.
Do not have Crystal Vein.
So we'll talk about that. You don't have Carpeline Gorge in there. You don't have Great Furnace in there.
No.
Alright.
I also don't have a Grove of the Burn Willows or a city.
Grove is good. You just don't have access to one?
No, I have one. I didn't even think about it whenever I was putting this together.
You should do it. Just it's colorless for your Eldrazi Confluence and something else. But I'll move to considering for now because we'll kind of start here and I'll go from there. So the other ones you don't have a.
I don't have a city. A City of Traders is the other one that
Traders,
I don't have.
okay. Do you have access to it?
I do. No. Michael, do you have you only have the one, right? Michael still here?
Yeah, I've got access to a proxy one that you can use.
Cool.
Okay, for sure. Then I can get a proxy.
Okay,
for
so
sure.
I can get you almost everything that you've been missing so far, except for obviously the stuff that hasn't been printed yet.
For sure.
Do you run Starting Town?
I don't run it. I do have one sitting right here though.
Okay, yeah, you should
So
definitely do
that's
that. So there's 2 more that you are not running. So Forest Gemstone Carpulsion, are you on that?
I'm not on Compulsion
Okay,
now.
yeah, we'll fix that. And there's one more. For whatever reason, it's not showing this. Hold on. My taskbar is not hiding, which is annoying. I just want it to auto hide the taskbar. Please, it's not letting me do it. We're 105, so we have 5 cuts to go, which is fine.
There's 2 other cards that are in here that we haven't talked about yet. It's with a Planeswalker, and I have the Invasion of Ikoria.
Okay.
So
do you have 100 cards in? Do you have 100 cards in your deck right now, or is it over?
4, 5. It should be just 100. So 1, 2, 3.
Because basically, we talked about you have 27 lands.
I don't remember him saying he had a commercial district.
Okay.
Ryan, did you have one?
That's it. Okay, that's the one.
Yeah,
Cool.
I do have that. 74.
You do have that?
Okay.
Yeah, I have 74 non-lands in the deck.
Okay. Interesting.
And 25 lands. So So
you have 25. Yeah. So okay, what are we missing? Ancient Tomb.
Yes, I don't have Arid Mesa in here.
Nah, that's one. Okay. What else? What's the last one?
Is there Bloodstained in here? No Bloodstained.
Okay, cool. All right, so we're considering. So we're at 104. Right. So what are the other 4 cards in here that?
Maybe go back up to creatures. It might be something
creatures.
in there.
It's Sticker Goblin. You don't have in there right now?
I do not have Sticker Goblin in here. The Imperial Recruiter is also not in here.
Okay, that's fine.
Right now.
Let's get your current state and we'll talk through it. And then
there was the one that sacks for 2 red.
It's not on here right now.
That's not on here right now.
Mm-mm.
Spirit Guide. There's regular Tinderwall. Is Tinderwall in there?
It is. Do you have Wild Cantor? You said yes or no?
Yes, I do have. Okay. I do have a Wild Cantor in here.
Okay.
Yep. I can just read through the creatures. So Rionia, Eternal Witness.
Yep.
Wall, Hellkite Courser, Vagavan.
Yep.
Llanowar Elves, Bendhorn Elves, Treasonous Ogre, Elvish Mystic, Cabbage Merchant, Dualcaster Mage, Squee the Immortal, Bloom Tender, Eternal Scourge, Blighted Halfling, Wild Cantor, Jaxus, the Troublemaker, Orcish Lumberjack, Simian Spirit Guide, Destiny Spinner, Elvish Spirit Guide, Urgi, Paragast, Ortheon, Bird's Paradise, Hunting Velociraptor.
Yeah, it looks good.
Wish Sail over by 2, sorceries.
Geosurge you don't have. Okay, Geosurge is one you don't have.
Yet. Not Geosurge.
You don't have Eldrazi Confluence. Okay, that's it.
And Eldrazi Confluence.
Yeah, cool. All right, so we have the state of your deck now. That's good.
Yep, this is exactly what I have right now in front of me.
So let's do a comparison, right? I'm gonna pull up now Cam's list again, just to say, like, compared to Cam's list, excuse me, like where you lay out. Or I'll just pull one of other recent winners. It doesn't matter. Let's do one from December, right? All right, so we are going to compare against another top winner here, right? So, so we'll look at unique. What's this? What the heck is this? Their deck is not working. I'm going to redo this. Look at the one that doesn't have a backwards card for some random reason. Okay, let's look at a different list that is here. This one's good. Like, it's within the same, like, it's recent. It's within, like, the same size tournaments, like 40 players. Let's check this one out. It has a cool name, Double Chunk Chocolate Cookie.
Not the Double Chunk Chocolate Cookie.
I don't. So the reason, like, I can pull up these random decks is because this lets us get to where, like, our core, right? Like, between both of the decks, like, I think there's the core cards that we all like, know and love, right? You both are on more creature packages, so I'll talk about that later. I don't even like comparing to his. I need to go to Cam's list. I just need to go back to what I know and love. I need to go back to what I know. No harm to no shade to anyone else. Okay, so let's look at what Cam's. Yeah. Let's look at what you're doing that Cam's not. Let's look at some unique cards, and I'm going to talk on them individually. Right.
Yeah.
So Eternal Scourge. This one's easy. You'd think that because you're a food chain deck, you want to draw into one of your 2 food chain creatures, right?
Yeah, for sure. That's how I've always played it. So
the reality is that you don't need that redundancy because you have so many tutors, right? You have Imperial Recruiter, you have Worldly Tutor, right? Likely you have Eldritch Evolution. Likely when you do flips, you'll find a tutor. So you don't have to run the redundancy, right? You can just run Squee, and it always is castable if you get it out into your hand, right? So that's the first thing I'd recommend is cutting Eternal Scourge, right? So what I'm going to do is actually make another copy of your deck list just so I have where you're at now, and I'm going to do a duplicate coach list with mods. I'll show you this list as well, right?
For sure.
Right. So that's the first thing. So I'd recommend cutting Eternal Scourge, right? So that gives us 1 slot, right? So now let's look at the comparison again to Cam. All right. So next, going through Basalt doesn't net you any mana, right? The whole point of the deck is to to go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, right? And Basalt doesn't actually do any of that. It's kind of as a storage, right? So, which isn't bad. Like, so there's types of mana, right? There's permanent mana sources, that is like your land, your mana dorks, right? There is rituals that are like your temporary mana, right? And then there's you know, like this third category is kind of like storage, kind of, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Where you can use it once, right? Effectively. So this category is what I'd say is storage, where you're paying 3 to get 3 on another turn. It's not bad. It just is not the premium of mana, right? And
you're not gaining anything from it.
Right. If you compare it to something like a Reckless Barbarian, right? Here, that's storage, but it does a couple things for you. One, it makes red compared to colorless, which is premium. And 2, it can convert a colorless red into 2 red, right? So like it's kind of doing other stuff there, right? I do like storage over like mana dorks in general, because if you flip into it, you can use it, right?
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah, which is a benefit of the Basalt Monolith, but I would say the downside of Basalt Monolith is that Kinnan is a deck, right? And Kinnan runs clones.
Sure.
And
they do, for sure. That Phyrexian Metamorph will cook you.
Yeah, so just the fact of that it's in your deck, I would recommend that it's not premium mana, right? That's the next recommendation I have, all right? Let's talk about the rest of the artifacts here. So Mox Amber, right? I'm just going to go back to your list, actually. So you can see what's unique to you, right? So right now, I'll tell you right now, this guy is not going to have a spot just because it doesn't have haste, right? It's basically best case scenario. You get him out and you get a copy, but in reality, if you want that effect, run Kiki Jiki, right?
It's valid, yeah.
Kiki can't target Etali because it's non-legendary, but like if you want to rebuy creatures, that's what I say. And I'll show you my list later about where that value is. But that's I'm just gonna give you the quick ones, right? That one should come out, right? Just it doesn't have a place in the deck right now. Mana Geyser and CDH likely is not going to net you much if you're trying to go for turn 1, turn 2 Etali, right? Because the most they could do is, if you're doing it turn 1 and you're in seat 1, it does nothing for you, right? If you're during turn 2 seat 1, the most it can make is 3, right?
It's true. Yeah.
So you're really saying this is a later in the pod turn 2, like when does it start netting mana, right? You'd have to be in seat 3 turn 2 to be mana neutral.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, that's not great. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to, when you think about cards, that's what you have to think about, is like, when does it actually benefit me for the purpose, right? And Mana Geyser is only really going to be good after that point. And if you're trying to get a consistent turn 2 Etali, which is the game plan, right? That doesn't cut it. So I'd remove that. So this is with mods. Okay, I can remove it. Remove from deck. Remove from deck. All right. Mox Amber is, you think it's good, but I'm going to ask you, when is it actually turned on?
If it's not Etali, there's only, I think, 4 other legendary creatures in the 5. Yeah, like 5 of the legendary creatures in the deck.
So does it help progress to a, if the game plan of Etali, let me kind of back up and say that the game plan of Etali, the first thing you do is to try to resolve an Etali obviously as fast as you can, right? Now, there's nuance there, but most people who look at Etali from a hater's perspective say, oh, it's just counting to 7, there's no skill there. And I guess the only truth to that is that that's our number one thing that we look for, is a fast Etali. That's the start of our game plan, right? So a lot of it is knowing what hands can add to that, and that's true. That is the truth of the deck, is that we are initially trying to get Etali out as quick as possible, right? So that is our number one thing we do, but then there's a lot of pivotability of what we do after that, right? The first Etali is, you count to 7, cool. But it's really about the skill, about knowing if you should actually go for Etali. It's knowing what the pod composition is to, push for turn 1 or wait for turn 2 after interaction's used, right? There's a whole aspect of Yaponomics on that, and Yap Jitsu about,
for sure.
That, and I could talk about that in a little bit too. So anyways, Mox Amber doesn't go to that plan because it's not getting you to turn 1, turn 2 Etali.
Valid.
Or even turn 3, because you have to have specifically legendary, so in your deck, Cabbage Merchant, I guess.
So there's Cabbage Merchant, Ragavan,
yeah.
Jaxus, Haragast, and
so
Urgi.
Yeah, so none of those are 0 mana.
Specifically none are 0 mana. So
I'm gonna remove that one. Right. Let's keep on going on the list.
For sure.
So what else can I call here? Survival is interesting. What I have found over time is that instead of survival, you should be running the new one. The Formidable Speaker is just a better version of this, right? Because it's 3.
Speaker.
Yeah, the new card. It's 3 mana. Here, I'll pull it up here. To my list here.
I've been dunking on this card for all of the mid-range decks, but I really like this card for Luna
so good.
and Etali.
So good. No, it sets up like 2 card win lines in my deck at least, because I have Kiki conscript lines, and it's like Speaker on board, find Kiki.
Yes.
Copy Formidable Speaker, find conscripts win is a real line.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyways, so Speaker is 3 mana compared to 2, but it doesn't require activation, so it's actually net even on mana. It is not repeatable, which is the upside of the of survival, but it's a little bit harder to interact with because it's a creature. And the second mode of untap another target permanent is valid for the deck because you have mana rocks that make more than 1, and you have lands that make more than 1. So I'd highly recommend Formidable Speaker for your deck, and also it gives you access to tutoring some of the things that Imperial Recruiter can't, like your Rionia, right? Your Hellkite Courser, your Hygast, right? So just know they can do things. So I'd highly recommend putting it in there. So I'm gonna actually do you think you'll have access to one?
Then I am gonna get product, and I work at a game store, so I imagine that
you'll be fine.
Yeah. I'll be able to find one eventually.
So
for sure.
And if you can't, it's really weird, but they do allow paper slip proxies, which I don't like, but they allow them. So like, why not use it?
Just do your whole deck paper slip, because like doing a couple cards can be questionable because some people. So I would just do your whole deck paper slip if you're gonna do it. Okay, let's go through the rest of the list here of any questionable things. So let's talk about mana dorks here, right? Mana dorks are fine. I have not been on them for a while, and I have not missed them. You'll notice my list has no mana dorks besides like the high value ones, which are like Lumberjack and Ragavan and Tinderwall. Yeah. I'm not saying it's wrong to have mana dorks; it's totally fine. I just want to let you know that of the mana dorks, the issue with them is that when you flip into them, it's a do nothing, right?
Yep.
If you accept that, that's fine. The other thing is that what they do is they really, really help to smooth out that turn 2, like 3 mana play, right? So it does do a lot for you if you're really trying to get to consistent turn 2 Etalis, turn 3 Etalis. And that's pretty much it. Like that's all it does for you, but you might find yourself running out of gas because you can definitely get to turn 1 or 2 Etali, but the table's expecting you to do that and they might counter you, and then what, right? So then you end up having all these dorks, and like you kind of just sit a couple turns to get dorks, and you let the rest of the table play Magic, and then you finally get to another Tali, and they don't let you resolve it, right? So just know that's the risk of dorks, right? I don't really care for the number of mono green dorks you have, and I'd recommend if you're going to use dorks, keep the high value ones, which are Birds of Paradise and Delighted Halfling, right? Because this adds colors, this adds protection, and I'd recommend maybe foregoing these 3 or some of the 3 for other slots. The benefit of having them is that you have Infernal Plunge. So you're doing the right thing. If you are on dorks, you should be running Infernal Plunge, right? I don't run.
Still say like keep the high value ones and still run an Infernal Plunge. If I was gonna keep the birds and the lighted, Infernal Plunge is still good.
I think you can. I'll play test it. I think it's because then you're going to be on. Let's say you keep Mystic, Halfling, Birds, Lumberjack, Ragavan, right?
Yep.
We'll assume Wild Cantor as well, right?
Yep.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 6 hits out of the deck, right? To make 2 net mana. What's your percentages of having, one of those cards and Infernal Plunge in hand? It's, the chance of having one of those cards is it's 6 out of 99 times 6 out of 99, right? That's your likelihood, right? Drawing both, I think it's like 6 out of 99 is 6% times 0.6%. So your likelihood of getting them both in hand is 0.3%. That can't be right because there's 7 draws. It's probably times 7, right? It's probably like 3%, right? Whatever it is, like, that's not the only reason why we run Infernal Plunge. It's because it also, you can flip into it and get value, right? So I wouldn't take it out just because you're not netting it. I think that you have enough dorks to merit it, right? At least at 3, I'd be okay with it. But as we go through here, I'd put the other elves on the watch list, honestly, right now. Bloom Tender. This one's a little more difficult. So when you think about floor and ceiling of a card, in reference to a deck like Etali, when your strategy is try to get turn 2 Etali and push from there, what is the likely floor of this card that you're going to see?
I mean, floor, it's 2 mana for 1 mana.
Yep.
Because if it's the only creature, then it's just producing green.
Yeah.
Ceiling is 2 mana, so it nets neutral, which is not great.
Ceiling's actually 5 because you flip into other people's stuff.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I guess you do flip. Yeah, that's valid.
But it doesn't really. It's one of those cards that really shines once you have Etali out, right?
Yeah.
And that you have to think about both pre and post Etali, right? So I would recommend not Bloom Tendering in your deck. You flip into it enough on other people's decks, and you'll see once you start flipping into it that it's okay, it's great.
Yeah.
But even when you flip into it, you have to wait a turn. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What I have found, if you want that type of effect, the one I've liked is the enchantment one, which is add mana enchantment. It's Sanctum Weaver, right?
Oh, okay.
Is decent. Like, if you're thinking about upsides, right, you have a lot more control over this guy and it can scale better. Like, I was running Sanctum Weaver and Springheart Nantuko, and that was freaking sick at the time because Nantuko and this, you actually put a Springheart Nantuko on Sanctum Weaver, right? Yep. And that makes the Weaver make 2. You drop a land, you get a copy of the Sanctum Weaver, which scales it all up. So, like, that to me has a higher ceiling and a higher floor, right? So if you want that effect, I'd recommend Sanctum Weaver, especially if you're going to be running in the lands that the other enchantments you're running, right? So just as a note, right? So think about that.
Sure.
So I'm going to remove your Blue Tender for now, right? But I'm going to put Sanctum Weaver in here. I won't even put it in here, but I'll just tell you to think about it. Also, if you're running Destiny Spinner, it kind of helps with that, but all right, so let's go through anything else here. We'll keep the creature package in for now. The only one we'll remove is Orthion. Yeah. I'm just not even gonna put it in sideboard. That's on in there. Okay.
Yeah, just get that out of there.
Yeah. So Cabbage Merchant. Let's talk about. Well, do you know why Haragas is good? Let me ask you that real quick.
I was reading it for you can emerge Etali by sacking, paying mana and then sacking artifacts. Is that what that?
So
there's a creature.
So emerge, you sacrifice a creature, and you pay that much less generic mana of the emerge cost, right? So if the emerge cost is 6 red, and you sack an Eternal Witness, then the cost to cast Haragas is 3 red, right? So if you have a Etali out, it effectively is a 4 mana, potentially to exile your hand, draw 3, and recast Etali. The way that works is if you have Etali on the field. So if you have Etali out, right, and you, why am I using this tool? I need to use this tool. I need to use the right tool. So you get Etali out, right? And if you have Harrogast, that's just me typing bad, right? So you sacrifice Etali as part of the cost of paying for Harrogast. So it reduces by 6, so you only pay 2 red, right?
Yep.
So let's say you have Etali and you have 4 red floating, right? Right, or access 4 red, right? So you sacrifice, it goes back to command zone, right? Then you have the cast trigger where you can exile your hand, right? And draw 3, right? Sometimes you do that, sometimes you don't, depending on what's in hand. But here's the thing, you spent 2 mana to cast this. Now, this costs 9 and gives all creature spells emerge. So Etali has an emerge cost of 2 red and a 5. And Harrogast reduces by 9. So even though you've cast Etali once and it costs 9 total mana, Harrogast reduces that by 9. So it only costs you 2 red. So as long as you've only cast Etali up to twice, it clones it effectively for 4 mana. Because then you can merge this sacking Harrogast and you get another Etali ETB.
Oh yeah, that's pretty goated. That's pretty good.
So this is an effective clone, right? So that's why it's in the deck, why it's good, because it could draw you 3 if you're have crap in your hand or hellbent, and it gets you another flip, right? Cool. So let's go back here. That's why it's a good card. Okay. Cabbage Merchant is the next one that sticks out to me. Honey Blaster, I love that card. I've been on and off of it, but it's really great early. It's good late sometimes if you need to cast Etali, if you cast a lot, because it reduces it by 5 mana, or sorry, 4 mana. Yeah, reduces by 4 each time, so that's good.
Yep.
You still have to pay commander tax, but it helps.
For sure. Yeah.
Also, there's no other dragon. You don't have any other dinosaurs in here, so it's like Cabbage Merchant. Let's talk about that. So I have loved a turn 1 Cabbage Merchant. It's great. It gives you lots of mana. What do you think you need in this deck, right? You do need mana to a point, but the Cabbage Merchant, unless you get a turn 1, I don't think it's going to give you the value you want to kind of get to a turn 2, turn 3 Etali, basically because you already have a lot of dorks, right? I think I say try it. Like, to be honest, I don't have a ton of data. I've never run it in my list, just because that's one of those things like Hunting Velociraptor is obviously good turn 1, turn 2, right? But also has some utility later turns, right? This one is really only good at that turn 1, turn 2, because it's really more that like farm mentality. Like think about Rogsai, right? If you're playing this in Rogsai, would this actually progress your game plan to resolve
Adnos?
Yeah, an Adnos or a Necro.
Yeah. Nah, like this. Yeah, 3 mana spells in Rogsai are very few and far between. If they almost like have to win me the game or restabilize me to the point that I can push for another win attempt.
Right. So we're not like
Mystic Study, Necro.
Yeah, perfect. So I want you to like kind of take that Rogsai brain and think about it in terms of what is like that same win mentality is like, hey, I need to have fast spells because I'm trying to get this Adnos or Necro quick, and then I can assemble a win through that Adnos or Necro, and then your puzzle is playing solitaire with your own cards once you have them all in your hand, right? The difference here is that you're trying to just get that push towards Etali, which is effectively your Adnos or your Necro, because you're going to start trying to assemble a storm from that, right?
Yep.
So the thing is, like, if you get an early Etali, that is your Ristic, all that value engine. You're just getting it from actually casting things instead of like getting stuff in hand resources, right? So you're really pushing compared to like a farm or a Rogsai type of thing. Instead of trying to get value in your hand, you're trying to get value to the board as fast as possible, right? And try to outvalue everyone else that way. Even if you don't get a winning turn, you can have 1 or 2 flips and just get so much value that it's hard for the rest of the table to catch up, right? And usually after a single flip, you end up being arch enemy, and you have to kind of like mitigate that, right? That's what it is. All right. So, anyways, Cabbage Merchant probably not good. That's my whole.
If you don't have it turn 1, then it feels bad any other turn, which is not a great rate.
So here's the creature package we got down to for now, right? Like I said, I'm not going to take your dorks out because you can play with it yourself. But I'll give you, once we get kind of to a trimmed out version and you know what slots you might have, then we can, I guess, suggest some ads, right? Invasion of Ikoria is fine. I might suggest the harmonized one instead of this, right?
Yeah. And I've not really been like, I haven't really seen this card pop up a whole lot in a lot of matches. So like it's been like hit or miss with whether I felt it's been good because I've never.
Well, here's the thing.
Had the opportunity to cast it yet, so
it doesn't find Rionia.
Specific deck.
It doesn't find your win cons.
Yeah.
So I'd recommend instead of this one, going to Nature's Rhythm.
Nature's Rhythm.
Yeah.
Sure.
The thing that's good about Invasion is to find Dockside, and Dockside's gone. So
that's true. That's valid.
And there's a fringe benefit of searching your graveyard. Like Finale, like if you're gonna run this also, Finale Devastation is probably a better one right now compared to that, just because it's not limited by non-human, right? And it can send your graveyard. So if you're going to try to do that effect of searching your graveyard, do Finale, right?
Yeah, I kind of jam with the harmonized one because like having access to it like in your graveyard or on the field or in your hand.
Well, let me tell you the value. Yeah, go ahead.
To cast it. Yeah.
Heck yeah. So let's look at our win lines, right? So let's say you've flipped into Nature's Rhythm, right? You're like, oh shit, I don't have any 0 drops, right? Where does it go, right? Goes into your yard, right? Customer 0, right? So let's say you have 4 green available. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Let's say you have 4 green, right? And you harmonize it for X equals 7. What do you grab?
X equals 7?
Yeah.
I mean, it gets Jaxus. I mean, it gets any of the creatures that I have in this. Nothing in here besides
what specific creature would you want to grab that pushes you towards win?
See, of the creatures that I have right now, it could depending on what's in my hand, it could either be Dualcaster or Rionia. I have another clone effect in hand, then it could be Dualcaster to do the Dualcaster line, or Rionia to get another Etali.
Well, it can't be Dualcaster. So just a quick thing. If Dualcaster, that wouldn't work, only because you'd have to have a clone on a stack already, right?
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
Yeah. So Rionia is usually the answer here, right? Because at the very least, let's just say that's the only non-creature spell you flipped, right? You're casting it twice, and that's 3 flips of Etali. Right?
Nice, yep.
At the floor, it's 2 flips because you're casting this from the graveyard. The absolute floor, if you're casting this, is from the graveyard. You're getting Rionia, right? So, and it's 4 mana to get it versus 7 mana to get it. So that's good. All right, so yes, that's I'd recommend Nature's Rhythm. I mean, do you have access to one?
I do. I have a Nature's Rhythm.
Okay, cool. If you want that effect, that's the one I recommend. Now you do more than one. You can do that, Nature's Rhythm, and like Finale and stuff like that. That's totally fine. And I think that's the thing. Once you know how many slots you have left, start playing around with it, right? Sure. Okay, so this looks like a decent creature package. Let me see. Are you missing anything that I can think of? You do have Dualcaster, right? Yeah, you do. Okay, cool. I play the MDFCs, right? So let's talk about that actually, because you have too many basics, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You should not be playing more than one of each basic because there are times you flip into a Tainted Pact.
Yep.
Is it not Tainted Pact? What's the one that is lands, right? It's Tainted Pact, right?
Tainted Pact.
You're right.
Yeah, because if you hit repeats with that, then it stops.
Yeah, exactly. So what I recommend is going to single basics. If you want to run more basics, right, have at it. But like run snow covers, right? But I'd really recommend.
I'm not really like tied to anything in this deck because like this is just an amalgamation of stuff that I put together with the stuff that I have had access to.
Yeah.
But I've also like not talked to anybody else who plays this deck a lot. So these are all great pointers because it's like a perspective of things that I've not even thought of. So I'm not tied to anything particularly in the deck.
So I'd recommend for you getting Disciple Freyalise in here as a creature land.
Oh yeah.
And the other one I'm thinking, Pinnacle Monk, right?
Pinnacle Monk.
Yep. Just both as lands that can be things, right? Right.
good old NBFCs.
Yep. And the thing about this Pinnacle Monk is searchable off Imperial Recruiter, if you really had to get a land.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So like there have been times where you're just screwed. You need land drop, and I'm gonna kind of sidestep into the table talk, the app a little bit. Let's say you have a Worldly Tutor or an Imperial Recruiter, and you're about to tutor a creature, and someone like wants to counter it, and they show you the counter spell, and be like, hey, like, save that counter spell. I'll just go grab a land. I'll just go grab, like, let's do nothing. I'll play the land. Like it gives you some like political stock as well, because most of the time you'd rather just get your value and have them, because at a big level you're not fighting the table. There's zero chance you're trying to fight the table. You're trying to protect yourself, right? You're not police. Sure. You're not the one that's holding up your power blast to try to stop the table. Like there's times, yeah, sure you do, but that's not the goal of your counter magic. Your protection spells are purely to protect you. Like that's it, right? Protect your push.
That's how I feel on Rogside too.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's like,
right.
That's same thing.
So the difference between Etali and Rogside is that people expect Rogside to have counter magic, so you don't have political stock, right?
Yeah, in that regard for sure.
So if you put your Rogside hat on, and you have your hand have, you know, maybe like an Adnaz or something in hand that you want to protect later on, right? And I cast a Worldly Tutor, right? And you have a Mental Misstep in hand, right? Right. If I say to you in that game, like, hey, like, I see their counter magic, like, what are you worried about me grabbing, right? So if I say that to you, what's your response as Rogside?
I'm in Rockside. I'm gonna almost always let like Worldly Tutors and stuff pass, even with a Mental Misstep in my hand.
That's fair. Yeah,
like,
you protect yourself. Yeah.
Unless you're getting something that like for a Worldly Tutor, like
Trees Ogre, right? Trees Ogre, right? Yeah,
you still, like care about.
Basically, most people say like you're getting Trees Ogre, right? I'm like, if that's what you're scared about, I'll get something different, and you can save your counter spell, right?
Yeah.
And like they'll say, okay, well, don't get a Etali. Like don't get like. Yeah. They'll say like, well, don't. I'll be like, fine, I won't get something that's a top. Like, I will get something that's do nothing. I'll get like either like a value creature, or I'll get a land, and that's where like I can have the political stock, being like, hey, I'm gonna go grab Pinnacle Monk. I'm gonna play it as a land next turn, right? And like that way,
an alternate thing that you can go get.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes you do want to counter it just because it gets on my hand, but like again, the incremental value from the Yap is important on this. So like there's a little thing, but having these creature lands in your deck help with that, right? And there are times where you will need to go find a land off of a tutor, especially if you flip someone else's creature tutor, right? All right, cool. So now we're back at 24 lands. We're missing one because we took out your basics. So lands that you're missing here.
I think the big one was Arid Mesa, or one of the red lands, or Starting Town.
Grove is important. Carpulsion Forest is important. Because of colorless, yeah.
Yeah, ironically, I just picked up a special guest, Arid Mesa, today.
Nice. So we'll put that in. We'll take out one. So
yeah,
I've been on how many lands am I on right now? I've been on 27 lately, and it's been feeling okay. So I would just kind of like, you need to worry about mulligan consistency, right? Because and there's been a huge discussion about like even 27 might be too low, to be fair, right? But I felt okay on 27. You might want to go up one or two depending on how you feel. But the reason for this is that you'll have a gas hand, but you have no lands, right? And we only need like 3 or 4 cards in that mulligan to be good for us to get there. So there's the thing. I am not high on Yavimaya. Let me ask you why you think Yavimaya is good.
Yavimaya got put in there for no particular reason at all.
Okay. The usual answer is that because I have Orcish Lumberjack, I want Forest, and
I mean, like there's enough things that say Forest on them, I think, in the deck that, and because I look at Orcish Lumberjack, it's like I'll probably get 1 or 2 activations before I should start being able to win. If that's not the case, then it's wrong.
You definitely want to get a City Traders. Do you have access to that? Worker Proxy?
Since it's proxy friendly, yes.
Okay, cool.
I can.
And Crystal Vein as well. These are important ones just to be able to get that extra mana pip is all you need sometimes to get there, right? So I would probably come off 1 basic, honestly, if you're gonna run basics of them, probably I think, I don't know which one's probably more valuable, red or green, but honestly, because of Lumberjack, I'd probably keep a Forest, to be honest. Because you have plenty of red sources that you can fetch and get to. So Thornspire, I haven't run personally, but it's fine. You know, it is. I'd probably run Starting Town over that if you have access to it. Do you have access to a Starting Town?
I do.
Okay, cool.
I play. I guess I'll add a little something. I play a lot of 60-card constructed formats, specifically Standard, Modern, and Legacy. Nice. Cool. So I pretty much have all like the staples for like those formats.
Sweet. So sweet.
Of the stuff that I play, Starting Town is, if you play Standard, you're playing Starting Town.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes total sense. So we've Colts 4 slots, which is good. Let's keep on going. So we've gone through the creatures. Creature package looks decent now. I think a lot more reasonable, I'd say. For like a standard Etali, like that's good. I don't have any problems with this. Destiny Spinner, I think is fine. I ran it in tournaments. Like, I think in unknown meta, if you're trying to protect your Etali, it's great. If you're trying to protect your food chain, it's great. I don't. This one versus the new Goblin, what I call the Grand Cabolisher, the Hex Mage.
Yeah. Right? yeah. The Squelcher.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's good.
Squelching.
The Squelchy, dude.
Yeah. If you have access to that, I think that is probably going to be better than Destiny Spinner. Right?
Yeah, for sure. Like, that was definitely a card that I am going to get probably a place out of that card.
So if you have access to that, I would do that over Destiny Spinner. I don't think you need both.
For sure.
And I've never used the second mode of Destiny Spinner.
I have also never. I think I've used it maybe like twice in my entire Magic playing career.
The caveat, if you end up going on things like Sanctum Weaver, then it makes sense to run Destiny Spinner. That's all. Right?
Yeah.
But that's really the only thing. Let me just check you're considering here. I like Reckless Barbarian. Oh, you need Sticker Goblin.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I do like Emrakul, but it's kind of come off of. It's hard sometimes to make that work. Okay, creatures look solid. Good. Okay, sorceries, Eldritch. I have all your clones. There's a new clone you should run probably. I've been testing with it. It's been fine. It's another clone. It's 4 mana. But as we saw with Hiergast, 4 mana is a fine rate for a clone, right? So it's the Kindle the Inner Flames.
Kindle the Inner Flames?
Yeah. Not inner Flames. Hey, don't hate on me. It's late.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I was laughing because I do the same thing.
Yeah, I know. So like,
Michael doesn't know the difference between Eastern Standard Time and Central Standard Time.
Whoa, hey,
it
take
happens.
it easy.
So Flashback, I don't think has been relevant yet. I don't suggest putting elementals in your deck just for the flashback, but there can be weird modes where you flip into other people's elementals and get something there. So right now you don't have any elementals because Fury's not in here, so I just wouldn't even worry about it, honestly.
I do have access to a Fury, and like I saw that and I was like, okay, that's pretty.
That might be a flex spot you want. You have to look at your meta, right? That's the thing, is that like,
yeah, for sure.
At Steel Town, one of my favorite games is turn 1, I Furied in and took out a Rograth and a Raw and some dorks, right?
Nice.
Turn 2, I ended up rebuying it with Eternal Witness and did it again. And I ended up winning that game because like I just kind of stripped the early resources, right? So like sometimes that's just what happens. I do like a Fury. The question though is Fury better than Pyrokinesis? Right? That's the question you have to answer, right? Because Pyrokinesis is the same thing, just instant speed, right? Pyro.
I'm a big fan of anything that can answer a Drannith Magistrate in decks like this, and going into wild metas that you don't know.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. So I think you need one of them, right? So the things that can answer a Drannith right now in your deck would be Lightning Bolt, Eldrazi, Confluence, which we'll put in here. Technically Archdruid's Charm, but that's not really, because you need a creature on the board, right? So it's really just Lightning Bolt, and right now that's it, honestly, in your deck, right? So the thing is, if you're running Formidable Speaker, that can find Fury. So there's arguments for both, right? I think that either is a fine choice, and based on what you think is best for your meta, to do Pyrokinesis or to do Fury, right? They're the same card, just one's in speed, harder to easier to interact with. The other one's harder to interact with, right? So I'd say dealer's choice there. Honestly, if you have a Fury, if that's what the effect you want, I just put it in. I don't think there's any harm there, right? What do you think about that?
Right.
Yeah. Did I lose you? He passed out. He's done.
Our internet has kind of done some weird stuff recently, so that might be what's going on. And his camera just started to mess up.
Yeah, he'll be back. I'm going to assume he said yes. But yeah, Fury would be the right thing for him. And he needs his Imperial Recruiter. That's the other thing we need in there.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, 28 creatures decent. Like, right now, I already tell, like, if we want to make more room, the first things that come out are these bad elves. So, okay, is he back? You back?
I just shot him a text.
I see him back in the chat, but who knows? I probably like another 15 or so minutes, 20 minutes we can do here before I am at my pumpkin o'clock. We can do another session next week or this weekend or whatever too. So
yeah, having this deck building session is big. I played Etali 4 sets ago or something, so this has also been super interesting to go back through and listen and hear some of the way Harrigas functions, why it functions in there.
Yeah.
I did think the comparison to I can't remember, the hero of something of other to Kiki-Jiki was interesting. I thought of it more as a Jaxus in that scenario.
Jaxus can. So yeah, it can't. It is probably better like a Jaxus. You're right, but Jaxus has haste.
Exactly right. You're like this doesn't have haste. Jaxus has haste. This is a really good opportunity here.
So like Jaxus is like it's haste and draws you a card off the activation because you can let the copy die, which draws you a card if you really have to. So it does a couple things. But like Jaxus also, you need another hurdle because it's 3 mana and you need a card in hand. So, you know. We got our buddy back.
Good, man. We're still going.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'll talk to him here real quick and see what we can come up with. But if you had a hardware failure, then we might just
does he have Discord on his phone?
Another one. Oh yeah. You have Discord on your phone, right? Yeah. You could just hop into the call on your phone. That works too.
Yeah.
All right, sweet.
You don't know how many times
his headset like completely failed.
Oh shit, that sucks.
So, which is fine. I mean, we're filling some like video time from that perspective.
No, it's okay. Yeah. No, I'm still tuning all my setup because like you know, I have like some old equipment that I'm using but I feel that like I watch a ton of like live streams.
So
like
Formidable Speaker. I was dunking on that from the perspective of like everybody was on it, like Timna Thrasios. I think this is super cool, and I'm like 3 mana and Timna Thrasios is a lot, but I like this for Etali. I like the implications.
It's really so. It's good enough, but like, hey, we got you.
Yeah, welcome back.
Yeah. So Formidable Speaker, real quick, like the thing is that like if you can get it out turn 1, like the cases where you get it out turn 1, let's talk about it. So we have it out turn 1, right? Likely that means you have some form of 2 mana thing and let's say Chromox, right? Or something like that, or Mox Diamond. Right. That's likely the scenario you got, right? To get it out turn 1, right? So this is a turn 2 Treasure Ogre every time with the land in hand. Because you discard something, you get a Treasure Ogre, right? To hand. right? You're like, oh wait, I only have 3 mana on the board, or whatever else is like. I mean, you'll have land drop, so like it's always a Trees Ogre. That's easy. But the other thing is that if you can't get to that, it just nets you a mana, right? Like even if you don't have a land drop here, right? You still get there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you do.
Because
you tap.
You make a red.
Untap the ancient tomb.
You go down 1, go up 2, right? So that's the thing, is that like you can make a turn to Etali happen with 1 land in hand, right? And I think this is the point of why you need those 2 mana lands here, right? Is that it just gets you there. You have more opportunities to piece together the puzzle of turn 2 Etalis, right? Like I've done turn 1 Etalis. It can get sick, right? So like, but this is the thing, is that like when you play it turn 1, it's stupid. Now late game is also stupid because like, let's just say like there's a there's a Draenith out, right? Fuck it, go YOLO. Like get your Rionia and copy Formidable Speaker, get all your value creatures, right? Go crazy, right? So there's a lot of things you can do there, honestly. Like you can strive, like if you have copy effects, you could strive that with it. Like everything you do with an Imperial Recruiter, right? Just more usability if you have cards in hand. Let's be clear, right? But the other thing that starts happening when you clone this, right? If you Twin Flame this, right? The other thing that happens, remember that one has haste, right? So when you Twin Flame it, now it's not just a Twin Flame there. You now have this ability to untap your other stuff and get more value, right? And in your deck, what is the tap? The stuff that has tap value, like, you know, you maybe need to do color fixing. You untap a Mana Dork, cool. Maybe you need to get something uncounterable. You untap your Delighted Halfling, right? Maybe you
untaps
need
Jaxus.
Jaxus.
Untap
Yep.
Jaxus. That is pretty good.
Untaps Jaxus for another. Yeah. So a play pattern for your deck, right? So we're at 100. Cool. You use your list. Let's do that now. Let me put this. Let me make sure I give this to you real quick in chat. So there you go. And it's now in the. That's not the right one. Don't use that one. Wrong list. Error. It is actually this one is the right one now, right? So there's that list. So it's the list we've been working on, right? So let me pull this list into the playtester. We can kind of talk about where we're at. But we need to do a couple more fixes first before we do that. But the line I was going to talk about was that you can do Formidable Speaker. You do go find Jaxus, right? Just like you're talking about, right? And then if you already have Etali out, you can, you know, blitz this and do a regular Etali copy. But later game, right? Let's say you do that first turn. Next turn, you get your Etali out. Then you can blitz this in, and like you said, do it twice, right? Because that'll untap your Jaxus. You do it again. So that's really sick. Really sick. Good looks. All right. Creatures are good. Sorceries are good. I like Reverent Silence, but if you're going to do that, I think that's the only effective one of that, honestly.
For sure.
Going into your instance, Archer's Charm is okay. Since you're not playing Cradle, I don't know how good it is. Right?
Yeah, and that's one thing I thought about when I put it in the deck too. I was like, I don't know, this card's okay, but like I'm not. It's removable if I need it to be, or I can find a creature with it. But like the being able to just get any land and not playing Cradle.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean,
I don't know.
The exile, the removal on the bottom is important. Exiling, but again, I don't know. I think you can play it. It's okay. We'll just see if there's other slots here. So I'm going to put it on considering for now, right? Your other package here, you need you need to do Geosurge. You have access to that, I assume, right?
I can get one, yeah.
Yeah, that's on our sorceries here. We need that over here. And I think all your other stuff's okay on sorceries. Let me just check my list to see if I'm missing anything I can think of. Oh, Metamorphosis. Let's talk about that. Okay, so Metamorphosis is a good ramp spell, a good flip, right? So, again, let's go back to this use case where we have Formidable Speaker turn 1. Let's say it was even worse. Let's say we had... what's a good use case of this? I'm trying to think. Let's say we had Mox Diamond, land, and a Lotus Petal. was like how we got the speaker out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And we don't have any other land drops, right? That's it. So we use this and we tap out, right? We go find Treasure Soaker, right? But if we have Metamorphosis in hand, right, that also can get us to a turn 2 Treasure Soaker, right? Because we untap, we sacrifice the speaker, we get 4 red, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, Metamorphosis has a lot of play in the deck just as a ramp spell in general, even though it's creature locked, right? The standard use case is that you have Etali out, you have Metamorphosis, and then it's basically 1 mana to get 7 mana and get it off the board. Or 1 mana to get 8 mana, so it gets you up 1, technically, right? And then you see 1 more mana to cast Etali. So it's another 2 mana Etali, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 1-time food chain, right? And it shouldn't be that expensive a card. So I'd highly recommend, if you have a slot for it, to put that in. So you don't have a slot yet. So I'm going to put it in here. We can make a slot if you want, but that's your choice here. I'd recommend it. I don't think you absolutely need it, but it's going to do good stuff, right? Something for you to consider. Going through your instance, everything else looks good here. Force of Vigor, I personally am high on right now, just with the meta, and especially unknown metas. Blast, Even Summer is good. Autumn's Veil, I've been on and off of that. Let's talk about Veil of Summer real quick. If you didn't know, that just helps with your Vexing Baubles, right? Because you can just cast Veil of Summer into like, just cast it first into like a Vexing Bauble, and people will probably be like, you're just casting Veil, okay, whatever. There's a bauble, but a lot of people don't realize, especially if they're new in this meta, that your spells can't be countered by anything. So
yeah, even a build. Yeah, that's pretty. That's solid.
So you can still Storm Mouth through a Vexing Bauble if you have Veil of Summer protection. Autumn's Veil does not do that. Right.
Well, does Veil of Summer still get around the? Doesn't it say spells you control? Oh, never mind. Spells you control can't be countered. I'm thinking the hexproof for the last part of the hexproof from blue.
Just can't be countered.
Yeah.
So there's been games where I've made my own stack where, like, to get my Reonia count higher, let me see if I can find it. Like, I flipped into a counter spell countering a Scheming Symmetry and a Veil of Summer. So I stacked it so the Veil would resolve first with the counter spell targeting the Scheming Symmetry that I wanted. But since the Veil resolved, the counter just fizzled, and I still got to increase my Reonia count.
Yeah,
right?
That's good.
Yeah. So, because that, you have to be always considerate of, like, what's your high roll. You have to always know what your possibilities are and play towards those, right?
Sure.
Instance Crop Rot. Now that we have our double lands, we're good on that. Crop Rot. I'm looking at my deck. I was like, yeah, that looks great. That's my deck.
Oh, that's great.
So Autumn's Veil depends on your meta. I don't know if your meta. This is kind of reactionary, right? A little bit. I would instead put Deflecting Swat in, or put Redirect Lightning in, right?
For
instead
sure.
of
I've
Veil, right?
thought about the Redirect Lightning. We actually were talking about that card the other day.
Yeah. I have been pivoting, and you'll see in my list, my current pivot is to go towards more redirect spells, going heavy on them between SWAT, Redirect Lightning, Ricochet Trap. And I'm probably going to be putting in Bolt Bend as well, to be honest. I just haven't done it yet. Because of Hex Drinker, the Gabolisher, right? Because of that, I'm probably going to do more of these for me, because there's a lot more things that you can interact with, right? That could be pushing winds, and they're also protection spells in the same way, right? So you can interact with stack battles. So you do that. It's the same thing as a REB in theory, right? Because it could always work against a single target counter spell. But Autumn's Veil doesn't quite do the same thing all the time, right? It just doesn't give you the same protection, because there's a lot of things that can counter it, like, you know, the Vexing Baubles, right? You know, you can still get exiled. So I would say I'd go down on Autumn's Veil, and I would put Deflecting Swap back in.
For sure.
Or put it in if you have access to one, I should say.
Right? Yeah, I literally just made the swap right now. So
cool. All right, so we're looking good. Instants look good. Let me compare it to mine, where I'm at right now, see if anything else obnoxious. Oh, Drowsy Confluence. We need to put a Drowsy Confluence in.
Oh,
right.
Yes.
Right. This is the with mods. Cool. Drowsy Confluence in. Right. And what else are we missing? Seething Song you have. Don't worry about this Summer's Pack. That's on my jank. Open your own mats. I think you can take or leave. It doesn't really matter. I think it's a ritual, right? If you're going for super ultimate turbo density, it's a ritual. So you might want it, you might not. With your dork density, I don't know if it matters as much because you're kind of doing more of a play turn 1 dork, and then turn 2 you have that mana. So you're a little bit more permanent mana focused. All right, let's go over to artifacts. Everything looks okay here. Grim is okay. Voltaic Key and One Ring. Let's talk about that. So, what turn would you likely get a One Ring out? You think?
If I'm not flipping it into an Etali, then it's like turn 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So that's the time I would want to be playing Etali.
Yeah, and you hit it on the head. Is that like, it's a great card, right? But for us to, if that is our reliance of draw engine, try to get parity, it's not going to happen. And like, if the only reason Voltaic Key is in here for the One Ring, one, just Formidable Speaker does it better, right? And two, like, you don't want to lose a slot on that, right? There's better 1-drops you could play, honestly.
Yeah, with the Voltaic Key, I saw it as like it can untap the One Ring, but I can also like untap my Mana Vault or my Grim. That was another thing that I was like really thinking on whenever I put it in.
There's so many more effects that can do that. Like even like Tezzeret Cruel Crafting is probably a better effect, right? Just because like if you want that effect, right? Tezzeret can search up a ramp piece and untap it every turn, right?
That's true, yeah, because you can animate it. You know,
it doesn't know that. That's not that one. This is the Cruel Captain. So this was one that untaps target artifact or creature, right? Or search your library for an artifact card with mana value 1 or less, right? So if you want that effect, this is probably a better effect that's repeatable, right? But generally, I would recommend right now against One Ring Voltaic Key as your value engine. If you want to get value, I'd say Sylvan Library is a better one for the deck.
For sure.
Right? So that's be my recommendation. So I'm going to move those off for now. No, I played One Ring a ton, and it's definitely won me games. I'm not going to lie. But I've won it more off of other people's One Rings than mine.
Yeah, for sure. Than your own.
Yeah, because where it actually has value is my flip stack is a Worldly Tutor. And for a reason, I need to get that card into my hand, right? I don't have another Etali flip. Let's say I have a food chain on board. I can't play Etali for whatever reason. I don't know what. I can't copy it. Let's say that, right? I guess if I have food chain, I can. But either way, like, I need to get that card into my hand to do something. That's where the One Ring shines, just to get that one card where you're trying to storm off, right? So, yeah, I just don't think it's getting enough counters on it, and you're not going to get parity, likely. So I'd recommend against it. It's fine to run. I'll say, like, it's totally fine to run if you need to, right? But, you know, that's the flex spot. I'd say maybe consider Sylvan Library instead. For right now, I think we could put it in here just as a, because it's an advantage, and your meta with that 30 people with newer players, that'd probably be fine. Just like, you know, turn 1. It'd be good turn 1. Oh, that reminds me, creature you're missing. You are missing Wandering Archaic.
I am missing that card. Where is? Alright, it's also in my Zul'Dok deck.
So this is like a soft Grand Abolisher effect. That's really good. And because you can just spew out mana, like there have been turn 1s Archaics, and that just like locks you to game. Because like that just means that no one can interact with you, right? So I would recommend running this card if you have access to it. As well.
Pulling it out right now. So.
All right, I want to kind of get through the deck list and run a couple of sample hands and then go to bed probably. So let's finish it up. So because it's only 8:30 p.m. my time because I can do time zone math. All right, so we have one slot here. So looking at your deck, like we just took out the key. I think that's fine. Other things let's look at your other ramp package. Like you're on Utopia Sprawl Wild Growth again. Like you have a lot of 1 mana things, right? So you have Carpet is like looking to ramp. You have 1, 2, 3. Let's go through all these of like the non-artifact. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you're highly likely in a turn 1 ramp, which is awesome, right? So you really need to make sure your 3 drops are primo, right? Because your 3 drops here are going to be Sticker Goblin, Formidable Speaker, Burgie, right now.
Hunting
Velociraptor, right, for turn 2, to set you up for turn 3. Like ideally, you have like 3 mana into a ritual, into an ogre, or something like that. So just know that like that's the play patterns you're setting up with this deck. Is that your list here is saying I will have a very consistent turn 2, 3 mana, right? Which is great. It's really good. So you have to look into it and say, okay, am I drawing too much ramp and not enough action? Which I think is what we're going to find out here, is that you're probably be getting too much ramp, not enough action. Survival we can take out because we have Speaker. I'm just going to take it out. And now we have a deck list that we can start messing with. I think this looks okay. This. I mean, and I don't mean okay as a bad. I think like this looks like has a lot of the same core stuff. Like the couple clones you're missing is like this Chandra clone. If you wanted to go up on that.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye out for it because I've all the lists that I looked at play that Chandra, and then I just like
that's not it.
With working at a game shop, I just haven't seen one come through yet.
So here's the thing.
Have to order.
It's Flame Caller.
I can give it to you if you want to play it.
Which is Chandra? Which one? It's Chandra.
Flame Shaper. Shaper. It's a 229 one. Yep.
Okay. Cool. So here's the thing with your list specifically is that the problem with Chandra is that 7 mana and like it's hard to cast. But look at your list. You're going to be like just throwing mana away, right? So I wouldn't be as worried about running a little bit of top end here, right? So you have a crawl back out of it plan, right? And I think that one card is probably okay in your list. And with all the mana density you have, I don't think you need Wild Cantor, to be honest.
Okay, for sure.
Or I would take out one of your dorks for the Wild Cantor effect. Like the thing that's good about this is that it's good off of flips, right? So maybe take off one elf and you'll be okay. Let's see if there's anything better to take out here. Looking here. Felwar Stone maybe, because turn 1 it does nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate on it. It's fine. It's okay. My artifact package that I run, it looks like this: Mana Vault, Grim, right? Lotus Petal. You have that LED. Yeah. So I think that you can take it or leave it. Honestly, I think for you have enough dorks. I'd say maybe that's the pick, or maybe one of your land growth effects or carpet. Honestly, maybe I don't know. It could be one of those.
I have thought about taking out Utopia Sprawl because like sometimes there are usually enough forests, but sometimes like I'll get like clunky hands where I don't. I have a Utopia Sprawl, but not a land that it can go on to.
I think it's a good choice.
Coded.
Good choice. Okay. So let's wrap up here with a couple playtest hands. So we already are set up in our meta here. So let's load up our deck. Let's go change deck here. Right. So if you aren't familiar with this interface, it just has a lot of good features. So that's good. So let's look at our pod first. We are C3. Our pod is Kinnan, Timnacrom, and Kinnan. It's a double Kinnan pod, right? And we're a seat 3. So let's talk quickly about going into this pod. What is the likelihood of interaction that you'll see, right, between these 4 decks, right? Is this one that you think that everyone will have all the counter magic all the time? Or do you feel that there will be reasonable, more reasonable players, right? Sorry, not reasonable. Like you can punch through is what I meant. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, like 1 blue farm, 2 Kinnons.
Mm-hmm.
Kinnon I have seen play their fair bit of interaction. Blue farm, in my experience, has been the most notorious. It was setting up value and table policing as much as they have access to cards and mana.
Yeah.
It'll be. I think it'd be like somewhat difficult to punch without any protection on Etali, because you're facing down 3 other blue players. And you're the only non-blue player.
Yeah, I mean, Kinnons, from what I've seen, like, let's look at some of the sample hands, right? So, like, they would have a force of will here, right? In this one, so yeah, they'd have it here, right? On a 6, you know. So you can see, like, these are sample hands, right? So it's showing, like, this hand lost from seat 1 on turn 3, right? And, like, this is a offer Remora hand, right? So
that looks like it. Yeah. That looks like a really good hand to lose.
Yeah. So, like, my point is, I think that in the meta right now, everyone on the table is going to make you look to beat a boogeyman. Let's just say that, because like everyone will say, "Oh, Etali, they can win off 1 flip," and the reality is like, no, like, very unlikely. Yeah, it can happen, but like, not really. So, like, just know that going into these type of pods, you're going to beat a boogeyman no matter what. But also, Kinnon's a boogeyman, because Kinnon can just go out of nowhere, right? So
yeah,
like,
Kinnon is also very scary to.
So let's just think about this in terms of a seat 3 in a middle control pod. We'll say some control, right? So now let's look at this hand. So going into this hand, I think what I'll do is I'll start kind of showing you some of the way I think about it, and then we'll have you do a couple. Does that work? Right?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, so going into this hand, this is a pretty good keep, because this is a turn 2 Etali, I believe. Maybe, I think it might be turn 2. It's not quite a turn 2. If we had a force in hand, it would be turn 2. But what I'm thinking, what you would do here is you'd play Mana Confluence, right? We don't have a second land here, which is why we need to have a higher land count. And here we could go to Mana Vault, right? That's one option. Or we could play a Dork, like a Halfling, right? I like Halfling here, probably better. Then the thing we would do is that next turn, if we drew into a land, right, we would Worldly Tutor and upkeep, right? And then to get the Treacherous Ogre to draw, then play land, Mana Vault, Treacherous Ogre, right? Type of thing. Or play land, Mana Vault with a Halfling, and then Treacherous Ogre, right, with a red source, right? So this could be a turn 2 if we draw land. The statistics say that we have 26 out of 92, right?
Yeah. There's a calculator up in the top right.
Oh, there is. Yeah, they're right. So I'll do it here. We have a 20. So number of cards drawn. We have drawn 7. And we need to target lands, right? So 90% chance. Wait, 1 card. We're not drawing 7 cards. We're drawing 1 card. So there's a 27% chance that we'll draw land turn 1, right? If we don't draw land turn 1, there's a 47% chance we draw it by turn 2, right? So this is a thing where I think the high roll is high enough potentially to get to a turn 2. I might keep this, but that's just if we're only counting to 7, right? The other thing you have to look at your hand is what else does this hand do, right? And this is where you're going to start seeing the impact of having too many dorks, right? Is that if I don't get a land here, what am I doing? I'm basically just holding up Dualcaster, right? Like, what if I don't get a land? Yeah, if I don't get a land, you know, I can still Worldly Tutor, but I can Worldly Tutor for. I need to Worldly Tutor for something that's a legendary, because turn 1 I did this, right? And the thing about Delighted Halfling, it only works if it's a legendary creature, right? To make colored mana, right? So in upkeep here, I'd have to Mana Confluence for Worldly Tutor, find a creature. And our options here of like legendary creatures, like Burgi, maybe, possibly, right? Is that it, maybe?
I think Bergie's probably the only thing that's not going to put the biggest target on your back. Like, you could put Rionia in your hand,
yeah.
You're just
Ragavan. You get Ragavan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's your backup plan. So if you don't draw a land, right, you're then getting Ragavan, right? And you're playing Ragavan turn 2, right? Mm-hmm. Which is not really the best place to be in a pod that is going to definitely have creatures on board, right, to attack into. So in the end,
double cannon, yeah.
So I think this is a if you feel like being risky, you can keep this. If it's your first mulligan, you probably can get better, more consistent hands. So let's see what would have happened. I in the end, after talking about it, I probably would have shipped this, even though it's really close. Let's see what the draw would have been. So now this kind of changes the math a little bit, I guess. Does it? Not really. No, this doesn't change anything because we still do this. Next turn.
Yeah, we got cooked by our own selves.
Yeah. Because what we do here, we go Mana Vault here, right? And this is where we have to start digging ourselves out, right? To dig ourselves out, we do this. We have an extra 1 floating. We play Formidable Speaker, right? Right. We pitch the... we could do that. We pitch the Lumberjack. That's not doing anything for us. Lumberjack's the least useful card here. And there's a weird case where I'd actually go find a land, right? So I'd go and I'd go find a green source land, which will be our where's our dude? Our disciple. We find our disciple to hand, right? Actually, I guess we might as well find Trees Ogre, because no, we can't play it next turn. So we find Disciple to hand here, right? We play it as a land, right? Then we play either Dork or Wild Growth, right? Here probably Wild Growth, because safer, right? Depending if there's a Mystic or more or not on board, right? And then here in Upkeep, also we have Formidable Speaker, so we played a Wild Growth, honestly. So here now we're set up well, right? Because now with Speaker out, we have a turn 3 Etali, right? Because, and a protected turn 3 Etali because we have Delighted Halfling. The way we can get there is that, we have red, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is representing some mana too. So we might be close, we might not quite get there. Let me just do the math. So we add 2 green, right? We should have in Upkeep Whirly Tutor here. So, sorry, I'm losing track of the sauce. So we just went through. We haven't drawn a card for our next turn, so we should do that. But in Upkeep here, we had to think about: do we Whirly Tutor for a creature, or do we not? Right? We can Whirly Tutor for Trees Ogre, which is fine, which will get us there, right? So if we do this in Upkeep, we Whirly Tutor for Trees Ogre. We have 2 green floating. We use 1 green for this. We find Trees Ogre to hand, right? Charge at the top of the library. Right. And then in Upkeep, still we have 1 green floating. We spend that green to tap this to untap Mana Vault. Right. Right. And then we go to draw. Then we have here, we have our Trees Ogre that comes out, right? And now if Trees Ogre resolves, we have a protected Etali because we do 1 here to cast and then 6 there. So we've been down a couple of mana, but we go down, the match number is 21 life if you didn't know. But let's see, let's get our life total right. We took 3 off of the land drop. We did this, tap this 3 times.
3 times?
Yes, there's a 3rd turn. It says 3 times.
Oh, okay.
And Mana Vault pinged us once. No, we're okay because we actually untapped it before the trigger, so we're good. Yeah, so it was untapped before draw step, so we're good. So we're at 34. So we go down 21. We're at 13. That's fine. We cast Etali. In Adrassi, there's a chunky button, so we hit this, and we end up getting Jessica's Will, Swan Song, Mystic Reborn, and Finhorn Elves, right? So here, if there's a flower on board, I might consider Swan Songing. No, I don't want to Swan Song anything. We just cast this stuff. Don't cast the Swan Song. Have our Remora resolve first. So let me stop for a second. When you cast Etali and resolve it, there's a couple steps you should be aware of. So first you cast it and you see if it resolves. Then you say, okay, ETB. If ETB resolves, you do the thing, you lay them all out and try to get all the cards, right? Put them all down, read them all, and then start ordering the stack and say verbally, I'm not committing to these yet. I'm just figuring out the order, right? And that's your opportunity to start talking to the table, right? Because that's in a tournament of space where you're not casting anything, but people will start talking, right? And they'll start saying, "Oh, that's a really bad flip," or "Oh, that someone 100% will say when you get adjusted will, okay, he's winning right here, right?" And you see your hand. Are you winning right here?
No.
No.
Definitely not yet. No.
So, but you do have a dual caster range. So let's keep this in mind, right? So like if someone tries to say, like in this case, I wouldn't fight too hard for someone to counter Jessica's will because I have a dual caster, right? Because what I would do is I'd probably dual caster and copy Jessica's will and just let them counter that, so I'm freer to cast other stuff. But let's assume it's all hunky dory. I wouldn't cast the counter spell. I would cast these, and I resolve it in this order, right? You want to resolve it, stack, show the table the order you want to resolve it, right? And then know that they all go on a stack at the same time. All wristic triggers or fish triggers go on a stack at the same time, right? And you still have an opportunity to resolve on top of that, right? So what I'll do here, if there are any fish triggers and stuff here, I probably would at that point go down to 4 and cast a dual caster, right? Here, targeting Jessica's will. Possibly, just to see more cards and get more mana. Let's assume at this point in the game, probably like 4 or 5 mana is reasonable, right? So, especially with T and K, probably at least 5. So dual cast for resolve, a copy of here, right? So we have a copy of this on top, right? Dual cast on the board. Just as well, Excel's top 3. We have a Mox Diamond, Food Chain, and a Flare.
Oh, Lord.
Yep. The problem is we don't have green mana yet. We don't have green mana yet, so we're not great. We're not there yet, right? So what I would do here is with this still on a stack, I'd probably sack Flare, cast Flare, sacking the dual caster to get another Jessica's Will on top.
Yep.
Right.
Is there a world where you'd stack Trees in Ahsoka here in case you
actually,
get some way to like get your dual caster mage?
No, the right stack is actually Etali because we're gonna have a lot of mana. Yeah, that's right stack. I apologize. Yeah, Etali's so we can recast it. But there could be if you do that, but just know there isn't an opportunity to respond. Once Flare goes on a stack, you don't have an opportunity to add more mana. So I would go down 1 more mana first. Okay, so we've now flared our Justice Will again. So let's say we have 5 mana floating, right? So we have next Flare going. Next Justice Will, we get top 3. We have Hairgast, Mind Goblin, Emperor Recruiter. Now we can cast Food Chain and win, right? Yep. Because now we can get this. So let's finish resolving a stack. Fish is now here. Now we have 1 last Jessica's Will. So we have 10 mana. 1 last Jessica's Will. Rionia, City of Brass, and Eternal Witness. Now we're super golden, right? So that's kind of some of the reason why sometimes copying your own stuff is better than getting random things off other people, right? You might say, oh, I want to hold that for interaction, but you have to read the table, right? You might want to hold that if you think the table has counter magic, and you should try to get that out of them on a stack. If they're saying, if they have some reaction to you having a flared, Justice Will on a stack, you can say straight up, can you give me a reason not to cast this right now? And they just might show you a counter spell. Be like, yeah, I have this. I'm like, okay. And you can say, how about I just do X, Y, Z? Would that worry you, right? And you start talking through potentials, right? And try to make deals if you want to hold up to it. But in this case, now we have a win. Do you know how to get to the win, or do you want me to show you?
Because we have 10 mana. 10
we have 15 mana.
15 red.
Yeah.
So like, my first inclination is to play your land for turn.
Yep.
Play Imperial Recruiter and Squee.
Yep.
Play Food Chain.
Yep. That's it. Yep. Cool. Yep. That's it. So
infinite Italis.
Yep. Infinite Italis.
Yeah.
So let's talk about in your list. So that's all great, and you can mill everyone out, but it's a tournament, so people are gonna say, okay, they might try to angle shoot and say, okay, that doesn't win, or they might make you sit there and like do all the manual storm fine, right?
Yeah, against those decks, TNK is almost assuredly playing Thassa's Oracle.
Yeah.
And so I can Etali enough times to hit their Thassa's Oracle, and then in response, or no, because I can't do that at instant speed.
Well, let me show you a way to. It's not instant speed, but let me show you a way that is a deterministic win with your list that will give people a line if they don't accept a loss from dying to drawing a card. Because that's the real thing, is that sometimes, especially with TNK, they might have Born Upon the Wind in hand, and they don't mind. They might have drawn a bunch of cards, right?
Yep.
They can win on their turn in upkeep without drawing a card.
Yep.
So you need to present a win that isn't that. So once you present infinite food chain mana, let's get all these. Let's just reset here. Right. Once you get infinite food chain mana, the cards that you need to get out are Eternal Witness, Twin Flame, Lightning Bolt, right, and Burgi. If you don't have infinite mana, so Burgi is the other thing you need, right? Okay. Why do these things make it happen, right? So let's talk about it. So, let's say you have Burgi out. So you get to the point where you say, okay, I'm gonna cast my deck until I get Burgi out, and eventually get Eternal Witness, Twin Flame, and Lightning Bolt. So I'm gonna get these 4 cards eventually out, right, from casting my whole deck, right? So let's just assume here that Lightning Bolt and Twin Flame are in the yard, and Eternal Witness ETB happens. I get Twin Flame back, right? So Twin Flame, I cast it once, I get a copy of Eternal Witness, right? Cool.
Yep.
I get a Burgi trigger, right? I have 1 red floating, right? Twin Flame goes to the yard. This is with, let me make sure this is right. So this is with, sorry, I'm missing a step. This is with food chain as well. I didn't get that sound right.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. That makes...
Yeah, food chain squeeze, right? So this is when you presented infinite food chain mana, right?
Yep.
You get to the point where you get Burgi out, right? That's step 1, right?
And then now you have infinite red.
Exactly right. So now you have infinite red, right?
Yep.
Then you get the Eternal Witness out, and you get Lightning Bolt back to hand, whatever, right? Excuse me. So Twin Flame, you can credit either Cam Daddy or Sunglasses for the one that put it up on Discord, anyways. But it's a pretty known line by now. Twin Flame, the first time you cast it, you make a copy of Ewit, right? Right. Ewit copy comes in, you get back your Lightning Bolt, right? The hand. Right. So right. Sorry, I'm thinking here real quick. Incorrect. You do that, and on ETB, you get your Twin Flame back to hand. I'm sorry. It's late.
Yeah.
I'm missing my lines,
No,
right?
you're fine, man.
So you get your Twin Flame back to hand, right? So now you have 2 Eternal Witnesses and Twin Flame. You cast Twin Flame Strived, targeting both of you, right?
Both the Ewits, yeah.
Both Ewits, right? Right. So you get 2 more copies, and now you get back Lightning Bolt and Twin Flame, right?
Yep, and then rinse and repeat.
Yeah,
Casting
exactly
Lightning
right.
Bolt, bolting everybody down.
Straight up, yeah, exactly right.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, that's
Take
a lot.
that.
All right, let's do one more hand, and then I'll call it a night, and I'll make this video available. How's that work? So let's do a new pod. Double Stella Lee pod. Ew.
Well, that's wild.
It is wild.
A wild squared it, some would say.
And let's see if that's actually so I'm gonna go to a new one just to say, okay, this is good. This is 4th seat. Okay, so we're in 4th seat. So T and K has mold. They're going 2nd 7. Kinnan is kept first 7. Sisei is kept first 7. Right. So in this pod, Sisei is not super interactive on the stack. Right. They have some, but like it's really to protect herself. Right. T and K is gonna be the most interactive deck, and then we have Kinnan again. Right. So we're in a similar situation. A heavy blue pod. We need to make ourselves not to be a threat, right? So the way to get around this in seat 4 is hard. I'll say that is hard, right? So let's look at our hand first, right? A turn 1 Etali would be ideal because that will get around most of the shenanigans, right? And seat 4, likely, because they're all committed, right? This doesn't do much of anything anywhere, so this is not a key.
Off rip, I was like, this hand does not produce enough fast mana to do anything.
Okay. This hand is a turn 2 wheel, or a turn 2 Velociraptor, or a turn 2 something. Likely not good enough, because it's at quickest turn 3 Etali.
Yep.
So I would recommend mulling this one. Right. Okay, this one's interesting. Okay, this is a 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a turn 2 Etali protected. This is fine.
Yeah.
Right, for a 6. So the way we get is these cards. We'll get there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 7, so we have 1 extra here. So wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7. Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
So that's your to get your turn 2 protected, which is great. So I would keep this one, and Noxious is good to be able to put something back on top. So I'd probably get rid of our command tower here, because typed mana is better than untyped mana in our deck in general.
Yep.
Right. So move to bottom. Right. So then we make sure we hit keep here. All right. So we've kept a 6, and everyone else kept a 7. So just know that we're already screwed. Right.
Yep,
So
I'm already behind the ball.
Yeah, so we draw a card turn. Okay, now we have a turn 1 Etali.
Sick. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably
Do we still push for turn 1?
Yes.
Unprotected for sure. Okay.
Yeah. So likely what's happening is and at least from the meta I've seen, right. So there's a likelihood you run into a mind break trap. 100%.
Yep.
Right. You would have ran into it turn 2. Right.
Yep.
There's I think if it's a turn 1 and seat 4, likely what would have happened in the play pattern is that Crom would have which one 7s, right? So likely, let's look at their draws or wins. So if they won from this hand, right, there's a force of negation, right?
Yep.
So they would have had to have stopped some of your mana, right?
Yep.
Right. And this is like turn. This is on turn 1. They've already played our stuff, so they probably played in this case. Why do they even keep this hand?
This hand doesn't make sense, but
yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, it's a Crom. It's a turn 1 Crom. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not. It's not.
It doesn't make it.
Yeah, it is turn 1 Crom.
Yeah. That's probably why. So this one, a misstep doesn't hurt us. A commandeer is crazy though. That's scary. Kinnon's. There's been a lot more commandeer happening, so be careful about that. So, like, I'm not lying. There's scary stuff, but here's the thing: is that your Yap comes in, right? So let's say that you just go heavy on it, right? Just like say, okay, I'm just gonna go for it, like YOLO, right? YOLO. Why not? Right?
The benefit of, like, I guess, like, if they're commandeering a rock, like, you're 3 for winning.
Low commandeer Etali, not your rock.
Oh,
it's commandeer. It's commandeer. It's not a creature. Yeah. So we're probably going to be in the clear for turn 1, and if not, here's what happens. Let me tell you. Right, I cast Etali, right, and like tables start talking. Oh shit, who can counter this? And like the first thing you say is like, what I would do actually before I do any of that, just to be fair, is before I play any spells or lands, I say, is there any reason for me not to cast Etali right now?
That's solid. And then like
this is your. Is there any reason I shouldn't cast ad nauseum right now? This is your that.
Yeah. Well, like, cause I remember we played a game yesterday where I turned 1 Etali, and after that I flipped it because I was like just trying to kill people with the impact, which is probably not a correct choice. But I just straight up asked Michael, I was like, is there any reason that I shouldn't try to kill you with this right now? And he showed me an amphibian downpour, and I was like, okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I did.
But yeah, that's good.
So the thing is that if someone shows you a counter spell, let's say it's show you Force Will, be like, hey, I still want to cast this Etali, but like obviously I have a counter spell. I just want to get value here. I'm going to be empty-handed, right? Like, what are you scared of? And he's gonna be like, oh, I'm scared you flipping into a win. I'm like, okay, if the random chance, low chance I flip into a winning card, I won't cast it. Or you can say, I'll give you veto power over 2 flips. Of 2 of the cards, excuse me. I'll give you veto power over 2 of the 4 cards. Right?
Yep.
Right.
That's good, yeah.
you know,
talking about that stuff.
yeah, like so, like just like start. You can work those angles about like, you know, yeah, this is gonna give me value. It's likely not gonna get me a win. If it's gonna push me a win, you have a counter spell in hand, so you're protected against a win. So, like, yeah, I'm getting value. Turn one, they'll probably counter it anyways, to be real. But like, you can at least talk about it. Be like, hey, you know,
you can turn it into a conversation.
Yeah,
versus
exactly.
A hard
Exactly.
line no,
Yeah, exactly. So, and be like, hey, like, and it won't hit you. Like this Etali just won't swing at you because you're not going to swing anyways usually. So, like, you know. So let's see what would happen. So we do all this stuff, right? Blah 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 blah. You know, if someone played something spicy, you can noxious this too before you do it, but then they'll definitely counter your Etali if you do that. So, so you do this, noxious all your stuff away, right? Discard, right? That's gone. Tap, right? Etali, right? So let's see what happens. One ring, Tar, Word of Invention, Fairy Mastermind. Beautiful. Great flips.
That was a good set of hits.
Yeah. But this is a case where, like, yeah, you're getting value. But let's be real, this whole table's getting value. So, like,
for sure.
Like, if they didn't counter a Ristic Study or a Mystic, like, why are you countering this? Because, like, this is just, like, getting me more in line empty-handed with the table. And honestly, like, I've already played my spell. Like, this is my turn. I have no more mana left. I'm basically getting, like, a mana rock. Like, so what would happen here? We played a One Ring. We like give the player that didn't counter our stuff a card because we're cool like that, right? So we played a One Ring. We probably do we let's sequence this properly, right? We do our right? One Ring, Fairy, Tar last in case we get another draw here. So will get us an X rock, which will be I guess what do we even get? We can't even get anything. That's valuable. We can't even do anything with it.
Well,
so we had to go this way.
You don't have
we
cards in hand,
had to go this way. We had to go One Ring first, right? Resolve that, draw a card. Cool. Flare. Love it. So now we could go get, if we wanted to, we can go get Chromox, right? So here we could go get Chromox. And how low we are on mana, I might actually do that. But now we have interaction, so I don't think I'd get it, right? So, like, where we just failed.
We can get the Mopal.
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, we do get that.
Yeah,
You're right.
no,
you're right.
Mopal will
right.
be turned on at the end of this because they're going to draw a card off
of Tar. Also One Ring, Diamond, and Mopal turns it back.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, good call. See, look at that. You're a pro already. Mopal, right? Then Fairy Mastermind comes in. Then Taru. We draw a card. They draw a card. We get a tap treasure. Right.
And if they have their Oh, so we've cast one non-creature spell, two non-creatures.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Mystic Remore would have already triggered twice.
It would have already triggered, yeah. So here we have one mana open. We have a flare. Like we told them, like, we're not doing anything else, right? But we're back in this game a little bit, so cool, right? Yeah. So we get our next turn, right? And this is not a bad turn one. That's look at the value.
Turn one.
Yeah, it's solid.
Like, this is gonna be hard. Like, a player should have countered some of this. Like, if they had a counter spell, they probably should have countered One Ring here.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. So let's go to next turn. Yeah. And now, so yeah.
All right.
So first we draw two.
Yep.
How to counter? Where's the how to counter button?
Click on the one in the bottom left.
Oh, I see. Cool. That's it. Got it. So we draw two. Boom, boom. So here is interesting because we don't control force.
Yep.
But we have Fury and that stuff, so that might work. Who knows? But here, the first thing we do here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana available. So first thing we do is probably, there's a risk here of we don't Eldritch the Etali, because I think there's a risk here we do that and we get countered, right? Mm-hmm. Now the question is, do we have red 1 available if we do that? So we do green 1 floating. We don't have red 1 available here, right? To do that, right?
Yeah.
So,
what was the treasure stipulation for Taru? Is it whenever an opponent draws their second card? Or
yes.
What is that?
Yes. Second card.
A card not on their turn.
Yeah. So maybe we would have got another treasure. Maybe.
Yeah, because we saw the Mystic Remora, so at some point there could have been another card drawn.
Yeah. It's like,
another treasure.
Yeah, if we had one, then we're okay. Because now we can cast do green, 1 floating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cast Eldritch, sacrifice Etali to command zone, right? Then we go find Hellkite Courser, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Which gets us another Etali, right? Do a flip here. Birds from us. Spider Sense. Ooh. Fun. Worldly Tutor and Chromox. Right. So not great. Not great stuff. That's okay, because, we have a Worldly Tutor for next turn, which is fun. So Spider Sense doesn't do anything for us right now.
Does it?
It's counter triggered ability.
Yeah.
Oh, you can counter. Can you evoke Fury at flash speed? No.
No, you cannot. Yeah.
No.
So
never mind.
we'll cast these things. Chromox likely here. Probably Fury. If we don't even it's Kinnens, so we'll probably cast it. So if we cast Chromox, will probably be the Reverend Silence, right?
Yeah.
So we have one floating here. At this point now, we go find something at the top, and we're setting up here, but like this is going to be a hard boy state to push through because now we're trying to play a value game, right? So with the stock Etali list, this is where it has a tough time because it's very telegraphed, right?
Yep.
So in this case, this is where it gets hard for you because you have to do a telegraph plays to try to get value here, and with what you have. Like, I guess he gets Nature's Wisdom because you can't get that to the top. So, you get a Jaxus maybe? You get a Formidable Speaker maybe? Like Hairgrass might be good. Wandering Cake is really good here. I honestly, Wandering Cake might be the pull because now you're buckling up for a long game.
In your list, I saw, was it Protean Hulk in your list?
Mm-hmm.
What's your Protean Hulk piles look like, or like the things that you're doing with it?
Okay.
I love a Protean. I love a Protean Hulk pile.
I'll show you. That'll be the last thing I'll show you. Yeah, I'll show you. But before I do that,
the sneaky dinosaur.
Yeah. So
squeaky dinosaur. That's
I'll show you that in a second. Then I'll end the session after I do that. So, but
yeah.
This is a really important point here when you play Dolly, right? This is where I talked earlier about the dork package and having a lot of ramp and not a lot of high end. This is where the deck starts to struggle. Is that when you start selling into a mid range game, you don't have a lot of playability. Because let's say we even draw 3 cards. What are they? It's Ewit, Shifting Woodland, Ritual, right? So that doesn't really do much for us at all to try to push through another win, right? So we're really now relying on, okay, I'm going to flip Etali and just keep on casting or whatever else. Etali went back to command zone, so we'll probably cast it again. Excuse me, but sometimes even with the board state, when they have all the draw engines and Kinnens have clones, it gets kind of hard to keep an Etali out, and you don't really want to keep it out. So, in this situation, we're probably okay because we have enough draw from the One Ring and everything else. But just know if we didn't have a One Ring and a Fairy Mastermind and a Taru, 3 huge engines, right? It'd be hard to buck up. Yeah. All right, I'll show you. Yeah. Okay. So last thing I'll show you guys, I'll show you the Hulk line. All right. So I developed a Hulk line over summer after Steel City because of all the draw engines. And it's just everything on board. And I was the question was, how do you win at instant speed without casting any spells? So this line will let you win with certain conditions without casting any spells. The conditions for you to have are any artifact on board. You need to have sneak attack on board. You need to have Protean Hulk in hand. And one other creature will get right away in hand. Right. None of this matters. Here. all in here. Right? Cool. Right. So let's say this is our state right now, right? Just this. Right. 1 open red mana, 1 artifact, sneak attack, party hole, kind of creature in hand. From here you can win deterministically every time. Right. So in either your or an opponent's, which is key, you can win on someone else's end step too. Either in your or an opponent's second main, you put in a sneak attack activation on stack. Party hole comes in. There's a delayed trigger when you go to end step. So go to end step, party hole stacks itself. Cool. Your pile that you grab are Imperial Recruiter. Oh my goodness. I always do that. You grab Imperial Recruiter. And you grab Sticker Goblin. Doesn't matter, like 3 mana is fine, just has to make mana, right? In this case, Sticker Goblin makes 4 mana, right? So those two come in, right? We now have 4 red mana. We go find off Imperial Recruiter. I guess you can get Formidable Wild Speaker too, but you don't need to discard a card here. From here, we go grab a Goblin Engineer to hand. Right? Activate Sneak Attack. Put Goblin Engineer to play. ETB. We go find Cloudstone Curio. Put that in the bin.
Okay. I was gonna ask about that card too. I was like, I like Cloudstone Curio. I've won a lot of games with Cloudstone Curio.
Okay. Oh, you're about to see it. Yeah. Okay. Goblin Engineer has haste for your sneak attack. Remember, we're in end step right now. Activate it. Sacrifice this. Bring Cloudstone into play. This is why you need one other creature. You put 1 more sneak attack activation on stack. So you need at least 4 mana off Goblin, which you should have, because
Pile.
Yeah. Put that in. Trigger. Goblin goes back to hand. Sneak attack in Goblin. Right? Present the loop of these two bouncing back and forth, making infinite red. Right? We have infinite red. Right? Once you have infinite red, then bring back a Recruiter to hand. Right? Bring that in. You have nothing in hand, so we bring in we get a Fierce Empath to hand. Fierce Empath gets Snuck Attack in. From there we find Hellcat Courser. Oh, it also wins through Dranith, by the way, too. So, right. Hellcat goes to hand.
Great.
Sneak Attack, Hellcat Courser to hand. Etali comes in.
Yeah.
Then we alternate these going in and out, and you just deck everyone.
That's so good.
In end step, over top of stack, without casting a spell.
Without casting a single spell. That's freaking awesome, dude. Holy
it's a fun line. It's a fun line. Yeah.
Achievement unlocked if you can convince the blue farm player to silence somebody, and then you're doing all of this completely silenced.
It wouldn't matter though. Like honestly, like.
Yeah, no, that's the point, right?
Yeah.
Like
we did see that Spider Sense and that counters triggered abilities, so that could be something that is marginally relevant.
Yeah.
Not something you should necessarily keep an eye out for, but it does exist.
But also, it works through a silence.
Yeah,
right.
It just works.
That's why I like this, right?
Yeah.
Like,
hey,
blue farm, they're scary. You should silence.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Now that the silence resolved, activate.
Yeah. Win. Yeah. Exactly.
It's also like even funnier if like somebody like just resolved their Grand Abolisher or Voice of Victory and just do it on their turn.
Yeah.
Because like they probably don't have anything to protect their stuff because they think they are protected.
Or you just wait. So here's the thing: is that like the hard part is you have to wait till end step, right? So. Like,
yeah, for sure.
The best thing you could do is when they put a ton of Necro activations in a stack, right?
Oh yeah, nice, yeah.
And you then say, okay,
Necro on stack put Necro trigger to put.
No, the Necro triggers resolve, right? And they say, I'd like to go to end step. Okay, I have an action, right? And you sneak attack in their second main before they go to end step. And I need to check the layering. I don't know which trigger resolves first, whether they get them to hand or whether your sneak attack goes on trigger first.
I think wouldn't that be active
player, non-active player?
Yeah.
So theirs will go on the stack, and then your sneak attack will resolve.
Yeah, you'd go on top of them, so you'd win on top of them.
Yeah.
So.
Before they even get to see their necro cards.
Exactly.
That's funny. I do gotta hop off, guys.
Yeah, me
I do
too.
have
Me too.
Some guests, but thanks for the talk, man. I
Hey,
really
you're welcome.
appreciate it. We should definitely link up. Do you play in Spell Table at all or anything?
I play a ton of Spell Table in the Critical League. But you know, if you want to support that cause that I sent you, that'd be super awesome. Also, no requirements, but just so you guys know, unlike this weekend, I'll be posting that for the full Discord fundraiser. But I definitely play a lot of Spell Table. Next time I have games on, I'll post it up in the Discord and you can see. You can just hop in those and watch. All right.
Sure. Appreciate it, man.
Cool. Hey.
Take it easy.
Hey.
Thank you so much.
Good night.